good morning, dear students. I am back again with my classes, and in my previous videos we were discussing about question papers of question paper of class 12th, and I had already told you how many parts it has been divided, and I promised you that I will be section wise teaching you how to solve the question papers in details. So we'll begin without delay with the first aspect, that is section A, comprehension part. I have already told you that comprehension section has been divided into two parts. First, comprehension of 600 to 700 words, where you will be solving MCQ type questions, short answer type questions. You may have vocabulary test also with meanings of the words and synonyms, antonyms, all that kind of things is given. So today, and the second aspect is of note making. This we will deal later. Today we will be talking about the first passage, that is comprehension passages. Comprehension, that includes questions such as MCQs, short answer types, and vocabulary test. Now how to solve it? Now section A is perhaps the lengthiest and requires lots and lots of time. And because it requires lots of time, children tend to have a habit of doing it at the last. And already you have delayed so much that solving comprehension at the last does not help you to secure marks. Now today, in today's class, we'll discuss how to solve the comprehension in the shortest of the time and how you can get maximum marks through it. Now let me tell you beforehand that this is the section where you can get full marks. It's a mark scoring section. Now comprehension passage usually comes between 600 to 1000 words, divided into various paragraphs. Now to sit and read it is a difficult task, and solving it is yet another difficult task. Therefore, how can we adopt a methodology which will help us to solve it in the fastest of time? We will be discussing here. Now, when we go for the board exams, we are given 3¼ minutes. That means to say 3 hours and 15 minutes are given to us. The first 15 minutes are given to read the question paper, fill your answer sheets and all, and after that you start solving. Now the first 15 minutes is very essential in English paper. Now other English questions, other sections questions are much easier. You do not require to read it. The first 15 minutes that is given to read is to be dedicated on this comprehension part. Now how to begin with? Now as I already told you that the comprehension is of 600 to 1000, sometimes it is 1100 words. Now if you start sitting and reading it, that requires and will consume your entire time. You have to be a little fast in reading. Now how to start? Now most of the times if you go through various kinds of help books or the refreshers, they say you first read the passage quickly. And that is what is not to be done. Instead of reading the comprehension passage and getting an idea of what it is, you are required to read the questions first. Read the questions first. first, what happens is you generally get an idea of what that passage is all about. For example, if suppose we are talking about Indian independence, or the passage is about Indian independence. Okay, so in the question itself you will get, when did India gain independence? The very first question will help you to get a basic idea of what that comprehension passage is all about. Quickly skim through the questions. Now, you will get an idea of what comprehension passage is. At the same time, what will happen, you will also come to know what all things would be there in the passage. Secondly, you will also get the knowledge of all the questions. Now, in a nutshell, you will also know what type of questions has been asked. So in a nutshell, what will happen is, you will get an idea of the questions. Not only what is there in the comprehension, but at the same time you will know what all questions has been asked. Now, knowing the question first will really help you to solve the comprehension. Once you have known what kind of questions have been asked, what words have been asked for the meaning, or the synonyms or the antonyms, you now quickly run to the main passage. Now, if you will observe the passage over here, you will see that the passage here is divided into small paragraph which has been numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. What happens is, generally when the questions are asked, it covers the first part, first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then maybe the last passage. So now you have already known the question. Now you started reading. So the second aspect is, after you have known the question, start reading the passage quickly. Reading the passage. Now, at this stage you have to remember that you are not reading the passage just for the sake of reading the passage. What you got to do is, you have to read this passage keeping in mind the questions that you have read it before. Generally, what happens is, first question or the second question comes from first and second paragraph. Usually what happens is that first 2 lines or maybe the last 2 lines of the paragraph contains the answer to your questions. In most of the paragraphs, this is the system that is being followed. I have seen many question papers of CBSE board, and I have observed it that basically what happens, the midsection of paragraph is basically used for the words, for the synonyms and all that kind of things. First 4 lines, if suppose for example the paragraph is of 6 lines, first 3 lines will have the answer, or last 1 line or plus say 2 line will have the answer of the question that has been asked. Now once you start reading the question, reading the passage, what you got to do is keep a pencil in your hand. Though it is not allowed to mark or underline anything, but you can do it. Okay? Once you are reading the passage and keeping in mind the question, what happens as soon as the question comes to you see that the answer would be somewhere here. What you do is you just underline it. Or if not underline it, just put a small dot like this. Or just put a small little number like this. That could be in a very light manner, that when after the passage is done, you can remove it or rub it also. This will help you to prepare your answer automatically in one reading also. So in this manner: the first question, the second question, and the third question you will do. Now, once you are reading the passage, there is a third section which contains vocabularies, which asks for synonyms and antonyms. At times it might happen that you may not even have heard of the word. Under that circumstances, what to do? That I will tell you just now. In that case, but before that, what you have to do? Once you are reading the passage, if suppose you come and to encounter a word whose meaning you don't know, what you do under that passage, you just underline. Okay? Or just put a small little dot, or just put a small little bracket of the difficult word that has come. Okay? Why? That I will tell you now. Once you have read the passage quickly, again come back to your questions. Why? For the conformity of your answers. For the conformity of the answers. What do you mean by conformity of the answers? You know what happens is, you have got like 5 MCQs questions, again 3 or 4 you will get short answer type questions, then 3 word meanings or synonyms or homonyms or antonyms, whatever it might be. You will not be able to remember all the questions. You will just have a rough idea once you are at this stage. Now secondly, again you jump back to the questions. Now once you have come back to the questions again, one by one you have to go there. One by one means you have read the first question, and the moment you read the first question, you already have had the idea of the answer where it is from. Immediately go there and then you see the answer there. That answer gets confirmed to you absolutely. Okay? These are some small methods that you have to use while answering your comprehension passage. Now, because if you start reading the passage before reading the question, what happens is, it's a big passage. Once you have already in the tension, most of the time English is the first paper, and you are already tensed and you sit there for your paper, and what happens, it becomes all hodgepodge over there, and then you fail to answer the questions, or you write a wrong answer and you lose marks, marks which would be secured in full, you get 0 over there, unfortunately. In order to avoid that, you have to follow this small methods. Okay? Now, these 3 aspects I hope you are clear with. Now we will see, once you have been confirmed with the answer, how to write the answer. Generally, children do not know how to write the answer. Now, comprehension passages specifically says to comprehend the thing. Comprehend means to draw out. It is not the passage where you have to write verbatim or literally you have to pick the things. You have to get an idea from there. Now, first of all, when you answer the questions, what you got to do? Answer. How to write an answer? Now, most of the time, comprehension passage requires answer to be written only in one word or one line. Not more than that. I have seen in the years of checking my papers that students write 5 lines, 6 lines, 7 lines, 8 lines. Unnecessarily, they waste their time. That you don't have to do. So what you got to do is one word or one line, and therefore it means that you have to be brief and to the point. Brief and to the point. From one word to just one line. So if I say, if the question is asked, when did India gain independence? you can simply write 15th August 1947 dot full stop, and the answer is absolutely correct. You will get 100% marks whatever is given in that question. If it is of 1 mark, you will get 1 marks automatically. Secondly, as I was telling you, that it is not to be answered verbatim. Okay? Not literally you read the question from the passage and what you did is you have simply picked the passage, copied it and pasted it. That is not to be done, children. You need to rephrase your answer. You need to rephrase your answer. Rephrase. What do I mean by rephrasing? You have to change the answer in your own word and answer that question. Okay? Rather than picking up literally the same passage from there and pasting it, you immediately lose marks. But when you will convert it in your own words, and here you have to keep in mind the use of tenses also. See the tense in which the question has been asked, and the answer is to be given in the corresponding tense. Preferably, all the answers are given in the past tense. Like for example, if it is asked, where did the particular person live? Okay, so you have to write that the particular person lived in so and so place, or in so and so house, or in so and so town. Keeping in mind the tense is very, very important. Okay, I hope this much idea is clear and this will help you to attain a good marks. Rest, let us now go to the example, and through the example let me explain to you it more clearly with a comprehension passage and the question asked and how to